Hey there guys, welcome to Arsenal Fan TV. This is the review of Arsenal versus Chelsea, the final score being 1-0 to the Blues. Yeah, funny game, don't really know how to sum it up to be honest with you. It was a weird game right from the very start. Theo Walcott being given the captain's armband right before kickoff. Couldn't really get my head around that one. I know he's been at the club for over 10 years, but it kind of just evidences to me that there are no leaders within this Arsenal team, and the armband is practically worthless within this Arsenal squad. So that was a really weird one, and I don't think it really helped Arsenal in this game in any way, shape or form. Theo Walcott is evidently not a leader within this team, and why he was given the armband, I don't know. It was a really odd one, that. But it really set the tone for what was a really odd game from Arsenal. I felt it was always going to be a difficult one beating Chelsea purely because of the psychological factor they've got over us. And they seem to know how to beat us. They beat us 2-0 early on in the season when they weren't playing good football. We were playing some of our best football of the season. It came to this point again. We was playing some fairly decent stuff. Had 2 decent results on the road. Coming to this game looking to get the win. Started off in the worst possible fashion with PreMatch getting sent off fairly early on. But despite that, despite Mertesacker getting sent off early on in the game, I was confident in Gabriel coming into the side, doing a fairly decent job and looking to be ruthless against his nemesis in Diego Costa up top. But it was a substitution of Olivier Giroud who was coming off the pitch for Gabriel, which I couldn't really get my head around. I did feel confident with 10 men in the way because I still felt this Chelsea defence was to be got at. Hasn't looked convincing at all this season with John Terry and Kurt Zouma at the back, and I don't think their fullbacks in Ivanovic and Azpilicueta looked particularly good at all this season. So I definitely felt there was room to expose this Chelsea back line. But taking Giroud off in our main outlet up top, who'd actually looked incredibly good for those opening 20 minutes that he was on the pitch, didn't make any sense whatsoever, and that's kind of what felt like a bit of a shotgun to the stomach because I just kind of couldn't really see us getting a goal with him off the pitch. Walcott was, again, a constant source of frustration in this game. I don't think he was helped by having a captain's armband on him. It just added more pressure to his game. His first touch was abysmal. Had a great chance to score in this game, didn't take it. He made a few good darting runs going forward, but nothing spectacular. And was rightly substituted in the second half of that game. But in all honesty, should have been taken off a lot earlier because, again, it was a really poor performance from Theo Walcott. Thank goodness Alexis Sanchez coming back into the side because it might spark Theo Walcott into life that little bit more because he really does need to be putting in some more convincing performances. Right now, he really does seem to be completely out of his depth. Really didn't look placed in that Arsenal team this afternoon. But the PreMatch sending off, that's the most controversial thing that should be discussed in this video. And to be honest, I can't even argue with it. It pretty much was a sending off. He didn't make any contact with Diego Costa. And that's the thing that's, the most agonising thing about this is we all know who the kind of player Diego Costa is. We all know he's an utter scumbag. He goes and dives. But Mertesacker doesn't make contact with him and Diego Costa goes over like a sack of spuds. But it's the way he lunged in like that. It was always going to be difficult for the referee. He was leaving himself open to danger there, Mertesacker, and was given the red card. It would have left Diego Costa with a one-on-one opportunity with the goalkeeper. But it could have, I think Mertesacker was an error in a way because not only did he lunge in, but he could have also left it for Cech to collect, which would have been a risk, but it was another option that was available to him. We now miss Mertesacker for a couple of games, which leaves Gabriel a great opportunity to establish himself at centre-half and possibly reclaim that centre-back spot from PreMatch and form a good partnership at the back with Laurent Koscielny. And it does kind of worry me in a way that if Mertesacker does start against Barcelona, how many goals will we concede in that game? Because I like Mertesacker, I like to defend him quite a bit. I think he's been a very good servant to Arsenal in the time he's been at the club. But a performance like that, he was always playing a risky game right from the start today. Really was poor to see from a World Cup winner, an experienced international, and you do expect better from your captain, or should have been captain on the day if it wasn't for Theo Walcott getting the armband. But shortly after that, almost immediately after that, Diego Costa makes it 1-0 to Chelsea. I said it was like a shotgun blow in the stomach when we saw Giroud go off. That was like the guy reloading and shooting you right in the stomach again when Costa scored, because it was a bit harsh on us because Chelsea, I don't think they'd been a better team at that point in the game, but it really did give them something to hold on to. And with us not having really an outlet up top, we didn't really look like scoring. However, we did have a very good chance through Matthew Flamini. I think it was before Diego Costa got their goal. But he's not really the one person you want at the end of one of Arsenal's typical Arsenal moves. We've made a lovely build-up to what could have been a goal-scoring opportunity, but Flamini was the one at the end of it, who's not the guy you want there. But it wasn't the first time he was there in an Arsenal shirt this afternoon. He had 2 good opportunities, which he could have put in the back end. And you can't help but wonder if Giroud had been there instead of Flamini, would we have scored those opportunities? Walcott also had a great chance to level things up, but unfortunately he wasn't able to take it. And we were the side creating the better and more crucial chances. We just weren't able to get them on target despite having only 10 men. Going out into the second half, we saw the introduction of Alexis Sanchez and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who I thought played fairly decently for the time that they were on the pitch. And you've kind of got to wonder, is Chamberlain going to be one of those players that is only able to have an impact for Arsenal when coming off the bench? Because he hasn't really looked convincing from the start at all this season. But we weren't able to create anything clear-cut. Had a few really scrappy chances. We had a very good chance from a corner, which ended up in Gabriel having a shot on goal, but nothing came of that one. And we had a few more chances chances similar to that one, which we just weren't able to capitalise on. And the final score just ended 1-0 to Chelsea, who were able to see out the game and nullify any threat that we had going up top. So, not a great day to be an Arsenal fan. It really was one of the most horrible performances that I've had to endure this season. I would hope that with the talent we've got in the squad, the likes of Alexis Sanchez, Francis Coquelin, all coming back from their respective injuries, we are able to put this result behind us and get a few good wins on the bounce coming up. We've got Burnley, which does come as a bit of a welcome relief from the Barclays Premier League, and if we're able to get a win there, it will restore a bit of confidence heading into that game against Southampton on Tuesday week. So big games coming up. It's important we get wins on the board now. We do rectify what has gone wrong today, but I mean, on the day, it's a really horrible feeling, absolutely gut-wrenching. But please do get your thoughts on this game in the comments box below. Please do like this video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV if you are new to the channel, and as always, I'll be speaking to you very, very soon.
A little bit better than my seat, I will admit. Now you see, for me, this is, for me, one of the highlights of the tour. You see this? This is a gold Premier League trophy. You will not go to any other ground in the Premier League. Not Man United, not Chelsea, not City, not any of those grounds and see these, because this is unique to Arsenal.